House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, chaired by the Honorable Joel R. Chua, has resolved to transfer Attorney Zuleika Lopez, Undersecretary and Chief of Staff of the Office of the Vice President, to the Women's Correctional Facility in Mandaluyong City. However, the execution of this lawful order was directly obstructed by Vice President Sara Duterte, who took the extraordinary step of introducing herself as Attorney Lopez's legal counsel and physically intervening to prevent the service of the transfer order. This act of interference demonstrates a blatant disregard for institutional authority and due process, setting a dangerous precedent for abuse of power. The Vice President's intervention came during a visit to the House Detention Facility, which had been initially permitted under specific guidelines. Instead of adhering to those parameters, the VP escalated the situation by overstaying her visit and ignoring repeated directives from the Sergeant-At-Arms to leave the premises. She then locked herself inside the office of Davao City Representative Paulo Duterte, prompting a lockdown of the entire House premises. The specific actions taken by the Vice President to block the order include: first, assuming the role of legal counsel for Attorney Lopez to impede the committee's directive. Second, physically preventing House security personnel from executing the transfer order. Third, disrupting House operations and disregarding established rules governing visits to detainees. And last, compromising security protocols by bringing an excessive and unauthorized armed presence into the complex. The Vice President's action caused significant disruptions, including excessive resource strain, reallocation of security personnel, and compromised safety within the House premises. These alarming acts of defiance by the Vice President severely undermined the authority of the House and disrupted its operations. The committee's decision to transfer Attorney Lopez stems from the Vice President's repeated and deliberate breaches of security guidelines, including flouting rules on visitor conduct and overstaying within the House detention facility, ignoring orders to vacate the premises and defying House security personnel, and creating a hostile environment by compromising the safety and functionality of the House complex. The Vice President's blatant interference in the lawful order of the committee and her abuse of privilege represent an unprecedented attack on institutional processes. The committee, therefore, stands firm in its resolution to enforce the transfer of Attorney Lopez to the Women's Correctional Facility and calls for a swift measures to restore respect for institutional authority and the rule of law. The committee stresses that the Vice President's actions undermine not just the integrity of the House of Representatives, but also the very principles of accountability and good governance.